Hello again, Jack. Can you hear me this time now? Apologies, my Discord crashed precisely as the stream started, so I was busy figuring that part out. Good. Anyway, yeah, it's just me, myself, and I on the commentary booth today, so you all will be stuck with me forever for until the runners get finish up here. So let's all hope the runners finish up fast, so you get some mercy from my wonderful puns. That was... Oh, major cutscene skips. I did not realize that was how that works. Makes the elevator cutscenes interesting. Anyway, I do not believe... Yeah, so... Apologies if I miss anything on the tracker, feel free to call me out. As I have said a few times, it is just me, myself, and I on the commentary booth, so... Looks like it was just an E-tank in Alcove and a missile into the ship. That's a missile on Vault Ledge. It's an E-tank on Grapple Edge. Missile and Half Pipe. Alright, let's see. As usual, for first check in Chozu is going to be the Hive Mecha. That's a missile in Rune Nursery. Lots of missiles so far today, except they can grab approximately none of them for now. They're all stuck with their missileless arm cannons. Well, they do not have to worry about a lack of missiles for long, as they will just fire their missile launcher in the Hive Mecha. And that gives them more missiles right afterwards in Transport Tunnel A. Tubamann acquiring all the missiles on the hunt. Or maybe not. Not sure about that, we'll have to check in later. Haven't seen Space Jump yet, which I'm sure is making AeroRaiser slightly worried, considering how the seed last week went. No pressure. And that is super missiles in Ruin Gallery behind the missile wall, which will let them grab the main Plaza Tree Route item very early. For those chat people who are predicting Space Jump will be in there, well, you might get what you want, but might not be the exact timing you want it to be. Tubamann is taking the opportunity to warp straight back to the Talon Overworld, presumably to check artifact hints easier, just earlier. So that it will be interesting. We will see a tiny bit of early route divergence between our runners, and it will be interesting to see which of their decisions play off first. Imagine AeroRaiser looks like he's going straight for that tree route. Like the tree knot, I think? I don't know, it's the tree something. The tree surprisingly durable material. Or I suppose trust surprisingly not durable material, considering it can be blown up with super missiles while the rest of it is indestructible, and that is Morph Ball in the tree root, which is going to be very nice for AeroRaiser. Fortunately, that's something I imagine Tubamann probably wanted to find for themselves in the early plaza. However, that is how Randomizer works sometimes. AeroRaiser is going to be going for the missile in Ruined Shrine. That is an E-tank in Artifact Temple. Not what Tubamann was looking for, however, hints are always good to have, as you do kind of need them to finish the game, unless you are insane. And I am going to switch the audio to Tubamann because deal music. Oh geez, I was busy. I did not check any of those artifact hints. I know I saw Life Grove near the end, but that was not much. So, yeah, sorry, I'm blind, I'm a bit focused on other things right now. Two artifacts and apparently a lot of Life Grove today. God, good to know, chat. Yeah, that's true. The fact that the two of them do have major cutscene skips is basically going to be a major impact on their run, as well, for starters, as you can obviously see, it makes elevators much faster overall. And also, it did not let them just walk by the beetles rather than having to wait for them to ominously emerge from the ground, which we have not seen many times before. AeroRaiser having more fault early on will mean they will be able to grab the item underneath the ship, as well as frigate crash site should they decide to go for it. Doesn't look like they're going for the item under the ship, as I do believe that is just a missile. And, well, survey's still out on frigate crash site item, but I imagine hints take priority. And let's see, transport tunnel B, I think this is B. That is Variasuit. Always nice to find in the early game, as you do basically need it in order to escape the early Chozo Talon area, unless you have a very large quantity of E-tanks and are willing to burn them all running through Magmor on fire. AeroRaiser dealing with the Artifact Temple load times. And yeah, from this point on, should be fairly simple for at least a little bit, although, who knows with Prime Rando. Alright, let's see, Arrow, will you give me a chance to correct my mistake of not reading the hints properly earlier? Oh, someone chat point out. Life Grove, Crossway, Plasma Processing, Elite Research, Life Grove Tunnel. Wow! AeroRaiser is very kind to us and would be inclined to prove chat correct on this one, so yeah, we've got a triple Life Grove artifact seed, so yeah, that is quite something. Tubamann not checking the tree quite yet, although looks like they're just turning straight around once they got into Ruin Shrine. So yeah, worst room in the game is certainly gonna get a bit of exposure in this seed so far, as I think it's hogging all the items for itself behind it. Arrows are checking frigate crash site, which is something we have not seen before. And oh, is that space jump? That looks like space jump. Never mind, it's flamethrower. Well, pretty much on the opposite ends in terms of the item tier list. AeroRaiser, I do declare your run invalid after this. You have not picked up the flamethrower. For shame. Kill the frames, validate the run. No, unfortunately, I just realized AeroRaiser's gonna get Variasuit pretty soon. That means that we're gonna have to deal with the Vomit Suit. Ew. No offense to people who like Fusion Suit, but just... come on, everyone agrees Fusion Varia is awful. Let's see. That is an E-tank in Water Hall access. Very exciting in terms of routing. It allows them to do positively nothing new. And Tubamann has actually run out of missiles and will need to go back to farm more off the street bats in Gathering Hall, because that is a very reliable place to gather missiles from what I know. Yep. And chat, please avert your eyes from the left half of the screen as we observe an abomination right there. And, oh, yeah, it's chat pointing out, AeroRaiser is heading into Magmor Caverns right now very early on. That is going to be a very interesting round decision that could have some big impacts later in the seed if Aero finds something or if Tubamann finds something and the other does not. So, Definitely an interesting decision to go on very on, and I'm curious how it will pay off for them. That is an E-Tank in Top Fiery Shores, and in Watery Hall we have just a missile. Tubamann does not have anything to get into Dynamo, so we'll have to leave that area unexplored for now. AeroRaiser looks like is heading out of Magmor right here after just checking Fiery Shores, and will be heading back up into Chozo. Yep. And yeah, that is indeed Ice Beam in the bottom of Watery Hall underwater, which is, I'm sure, exactly what our runners were hoping to see. Yep, looks like Tubamann is going to save, so he can get some attempts at that trick. Because doing that one, NSJ... Oh, never mind. Looks like he is warping to start at this point. Saving, warping to start, same thing. So yeah, definitely an interesting seed so far. I do know it definitely is possible to get Watery Hall NSJ, but I do not believe it is in Logic, as that is decently tricky slope jump. I do believe with Space Jump it is in Logic, but without Space Jump it is not in Logic, and with that we have the question of where is the Space Jump? Because it's not here. However, there is our good old favorite item right here, which is Dynamo right now. I'll check. Do the runners have any? No, it does not look our runners did anything to restrict dangerous actions, so vanilla bombs could be an option right here. That could be something that we end up going for. However, looks like our runners seem to have steered clear from Watery Hall, though I imagine AeroRaiser will probably be heading to that area soon. However, it is really hard to say some things at this point. I think the question is going to come down to, is Tubamann going to explore further into Magmor than Aero does? It seems like Aero probably guessed that that initial entry past this point was out of Logic, but I don't know, hard to say. Tubamann doesn't seem to be caring it's out of Logic. He will take a bath in the lava and jump back. Oh no, he's gotten stuck at. Nope. Alright, we're good here. That is a missile in Rune Fountain. I don't think I saw that one earlier. And also something else to point out in Runner's Agreements, they have replaced nothings with energy tanks and flamethrowers in roughly equal proportions, so that could explain why we saw a very early validator and why AeroRaiser was so content to leave his run unvalidated. E-Tank in Triclops, but fortunately we do not have a repeat of last week's disaster of a legendary seed with Aero. And we are heading into Storage Cave, which I believe is the only item they could be getting in Logic. Oh, and that is indeed our bombs, which is very important. Tubamann, I think, pretty clearly ended up coming out ahead in this their gamble right here, because bombs are very, very important in the early game. Aero, looks like being a little disappointed that they don't have anything to open up that blast door hold right there. Aero enjoying the fact that they're those very convenient. Oh, and it looks like Aero is indeed going for the slope jump NSJ right here. Fails first at second attempt too. Can't say I blame them. This is a very tricky slope jump. Oh well, NSJ. Possible, I know I've done it, but it's not easy. wouldn't be surprised if Arrow ends up having to bail at some point. That is another validator in our lava lake. And Tubamann, congratulations, you are the first runner to be valid in this race. How does it feel? Of course, you can't hear me because we are in very different places, but still. And yeah, it looks like AeroRaiser is heading out of Waterhall with 0 ice beams intact. I have to imagine that Aero will probably try and check vanilla bombs next. Nope, looks like he's going for the save station, whether that's either to refill on energy for the ice beam check or warp back to start, I don't really know. Nope, yep, he's going for it. Oh, no, he was just going for the energy refill. Oh yeah, probably because, in case Zoid does not have bombs, which unfortunately we know it does not. It just has flamethrowers and disappointment. Well, technically it could have power bombs, that's an option, but I imagine that's probably not the bombs AeroRaiser is looking for right now. Looks like a missile and Volt. Of course, restream commentary stream means that it's a bit difficult for me to tell, but that looked bright orange. And yeah, things are really heating up over on AeroRaiser's end. Just whopping 2 flamethrowers. The validators coming back to punish AeroRaiser for not grabbing the designated validator when they could. For shame, Arrow, for shame. Looks like Tubamann is going to go over to check the missing ruin gallery item, which is one of those that it's technically an early game item, but it's often one that can be surprisingly difficult to sneak in there in the late game items, and it is just a missile, unfortunately. And from here, mostly pretty standard. Zoid gameplay is very exciting as always. Watch Zoid spin around in circles and watch the bees be very obnoxious above. Oh. Well, that's a good sign, but I don't think this thing might be the one time in history AeroRaiser did not want to get space jump. That is very unfortunate for AeroRaiser, as shows he has not been making the correct, particularly right routing decisions over here. Tubamann checking, over in Shrine, just a missile. And I'm getting some twinges of Beal music, so away we go to AeroRaiser's audio. Alright. Have to imagine Tuba's probably going to go for Zoid next, and that just entire mid-Chozo area. Could be seeing some plant, though. And yeah, it doesn't look like AeroRaiser is too happy about that space jump location. Well, hey, at least space jump was early compared to last week for Aero. We will not have to worry about not seeing space jump until an hour and a half into the race. That seed, I believe it ended up being around precisely 2 hours in the end. Once the runners got space, yeah, it was pretty much a Space Jump Go mode seed, which is something utterly terrifying when you really when it's a cursed seed. Man, it looks like missing the bomb jump to get up to the upper part of Gathering Hall. Oh no, it looks like AeroRaiser's going for Lava Lake first before Sword Cap, which will mean that Aero will need to go all the way around Chozo through Magmore to the other Magmore entrance, which is very unfortunate. Although he will find his first Validator there, and hopefully he picks it up this time. Aurora's doing the scan dash to avoid the Hive Mecha, but fun fact with major cutscenes, you could just walk past Hive Mecha. It's pretty funny, like, because the cutscene doesn't lock you in place, you could just walk over the bridge as it's sinking in and then just go in the door, and the game doesn't stop you. It's pretty funny. But yeah, scan dash is probably still technically faster. It will never not weird me out for for like a second or two whenever our runners go down the runner and go into an elevator and the cutscene doesn't immediately activate. Or just seeing them come down the elevator, which is just weird. I don't know. See, will AeroRaiser go and grab their Validator? For shame, AeroRaiser, for shame! I had high expectations of you today! Yes, and Space Jump makes getting underwater volley, the underwater watery hull item much easier. Or is it taking the warp to start without a single save point? And yeah, it looks like AeroRaiser has unfortunately figured out approximately where the bombs are in this seed. Very reckless to put high explosives in an underwater magma area. Those could explode at any moment. You should be more responsible for yourselves, randomizer placement. Man grabbing their space jump on the Zoid and heading out of there to explode some stone toads. Cutscenes removal has really ended up speeding up Energy Core. I know some people who would swear by doing reverse Chozo if possible just to skip the Energy Core cutscene, because this room always took a lot of effort, surprisingly a lot of effort, but cutscene removal has definitely impacted the meta of how this room plays out, and it's no longer as much of a room to avoid if possible. More missiles in lower furnace for Tuba. And yeah. Doesn't look like Tuba is going to go check upper furnace, so it's just retreating straight out of there. Everyone will say I blame them. But looks like Arrow is gunning it for the inevitable location where bombs are. There really can't be anywhere else where bombs can be in Magmore Caverns at this point. And let's see, yeah, oh, never mind, Tuba's not going straight for the Ice Beam, he is going to go check Dynamo first. Oh, of course, without Spider Ball, he'll only be able to check half of the Dynamo. There will still be an ominous Spider Track left to gather, hold an item in reserve for later in the seed. And Arrow finally acquiring his bombs, unfortunately late, after the routing really did not work out well for him. Just a missile and Dynamo, but there's always that little itch in the back of your head. Man, that actually only one E-Tank. Oh, still going for it. Looks like Tuba's having a little trouble getting slope jump. Up and oh, that was almost there. Yeah, man. There we go. Now required the ice cream beam. And the ice beam doesn't open up quite as much in the early game as weight beam does. However, it will let him gain access to a few rooms in mid-Chozo area and I believe at least 2 checks, depending on how skilled with some tricks Tubamann could be. But nope, never mind. It looks like Tubamann is, well, at least restoring energy. That would make sense. But nope, just going straight for the warp to start. And congratulations, Arrow. Welcome to the Valid Run Club. Yeah, if you're wondering why I encourage people to be a bit cautious about saving for warping start, there is currently a bug going around involving warping start causing crashes. The cause is still unknown. It obviously has something to do with some internal workings of how the randomizer works, but we are still, while it's still unknown, there are rules in place to encourage people to save before the warp to start and such. If it happens, you can basically make up for any time you lost if that does end up making a difference in the seed. Tubamann not even grabbing their second validator in Frigate Crash Site. What is wrong with these people? Can't they see the value in validation? Purely aesthetic and pointless validation? Kids these days. And yeah, it looks like Tubamann is going to head into the effort to go and clear Chozo Ruins backwards so that they do not have to worry about the wave lock preventing Hold of the Elders access, or more accurately, access from Hold of the Elders to Reflecting Pool, and Tubamann will find their first power bomb in the Overgrown Cavern. That is not their logical power bombs, as it is only an expansion, and they will only have one, so Tubamann gets to have fun with the Prime 1 drop system. Apologies if that just jump scared anyone in the chat, but it is a power bomb nonetheless. And power bombs can be quite useful in this game. Man, jumping off the fact that devs never thought you'd be heading into this room from this way, and they forgot to validate to model the missile blast door from both sides, and that is Gravity Suit in Antechamber. Certainly not logical at this point, but looks like Tubamann is going to take it. Man, taking another warp to start right there, which is interesting routing, not even checking any of the Hull of the Others or the crossway items. AeroRaiser, unfortunately, is looking like they are having a bit of trouble with the blast caps in early Chozo, which are quite fond of exploding in violent quantities should you get near them and not try to get rid of them first and save some frames. It's like Tubamann is going for the root cave dash. Let's finish up there and let's see what will be in the root cave itself. More validation, perfect. And let's see, will Tubamann be going for the single room out of bounds? Oh, looks like they fell all the way down to the bottom. Oh, and looks like he is heading back up. Looks like he really wants to show off, I believe, the only out of bounds trick you will see in this tournament. I just jinxed it, didn't I? Yeah, I probably jinxed it. Someone's gonna pull off Exo Skip. And AeroRaiser finally heading back to Zoid, where they can finally grab their precious space jump. Oh, unfortunately, Tubamann falling again, trying to do the Arbor Chamber out of bounds, which is unfortunate. Will he be going? Looks like he has not attempted to climb back up that room a third time. Can't really say that makes sense. Arbor Chamber is not a room that particularly has items very early, especially when we haven't seen any of X-Ray, Rocket Beam, or Plasma Beam at this point. And yeah, as chat loves to point out right now, the plant is still in play. So, who knows what plant could have? Well, not an artifact. I don't believe any of that was in the hints, but we could be seeing a lovely, wonderful wave beam on plant, which I'm sure our runners would be absolutely overjoyed to see right now. Man, finally grabbing this E-Tank that we've been seeing so much in this seed. You know, it looks like there is actually something in short until oh, well, there's our wave beam. That out of logic power bomb expansion that Tubamann grabbed proving to be very handy right now, although it will create issues. It should Tubamann want to try to go check the lower warriors. Wow, that is a very nice power bomb drop from that Triclops. Good on you. Asking some questions. Yes, both of those are options. Only one of them is in logic though. I believe tower chamber without gravity suit is in logic. However, the Chozo Ghost item without Spider Ball, oftentimes called Early Wild, is not in logic right now. You might still see runners do it, as it is a trick that is very commonly done, especially by 90% runners, but it's not the easiest time. And wow, so much for Powerbomb RNG, as that's another Powerbomb expansion right there. AeroRaiser being bullied by the laser eyes. And yeah, at this point, Tubamann basically does have the early game package. The only things that he's really missing for as far as progression within the world are Boost, Spider, and Plasma Beam. Past that, you can pretty much go anywhere. However, that does always create issues of... However, there is also thing considering that power bomb that they got to unlock the wave beam was not logical. So power bombs will have to be somewhere that is obtainable before wave beam is the thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a main power bombs in Fendrana Canyon, as I do believe that is one of the only places left where we haven't seen that main power bombs could be. They could also be on Flagra. That would be fun. We get to deal with power bomb RNG for the entire seed. I'm sure the runners love that. AeroRaiser, or Tubamann showing off. And it looks like AeroRaiser has been listening to chat a little too much and is heading off to check everyone's favorite plant. You got to him, chat. The vibes. However, if plant does have anything, this could definitely be a major victory for AeroRaiser. However, if chat, don't believe there's... Yeah, there are still a few items Flagra could have, but at minimum, it wouldn't be anything Tubamann would notice for a while, which could make it even more devastating if plant does have something. And oh yeah, AeroRaiser pointing out the major cutscene skips that make Flagra much less of a cutscene boss, as we have taken away Flagra's ability to hold the camera precisely on itself for minutes at a time. So now it just gets to thrash angrily in the cutscenes instead of now it gets to thrash angrily during gameplay instead of during the cutscenes. And yeah, AeroRaiser taking this opportunity to commit repeated bridge destruction. And yeah, AeroRaiser showing off that with major cutscenes removed, Flagra is a much faster boss than it usually is. Didn't quite see what was in Hole of the Others, but given that Tubamann did not go for it, I am guessing it is nothing major. And that is just an E-Tank on Flagra. I think at this point I am going to switch the audio over to Tubamann, as I think it's pretty confident to say Tubamann does have the lead at this point. However, again, that's not final. This is Randomizer. So yeah, I would not be surprised at all if we saw the main power bombs coming up on Tubamann's screen in the, oh wow, doesn't look like Tubamann is even checking Fendrana Canyon right now. Do you think maybe he's realized that's where pretty much the only place found? That looked like a suit at the bottom of the Ice Roots West Ice, which, considering they've got the two so far, that will leave only the big one. And yeah, let's see. Is my theory correct? Will we see the Christmas tree in Fendrana Canyon? Services? No! Doesn't look like a missile. Let's see. Oh, I think that's, looks like a plasma beam. Yep, that is definitely a plasma beam, which would put Tubamann in at all beams at 40 minutes and 18 seconds into the seed, which is not bad at all, and will also be very convenient considering what we just saw in Ice Ruins West. Tubamann looking very excited at the door right now, very impatient, wanting to move. these Shigos are not cooperating with Tubamann right now. Come on, why don't you let him just climb on your back? It won't be too painful. Come on, we gotta continue the tradition of saving the frames and killing the animals. And yeah, Tubamann trying to go for a slope jump up, but not getting that one either. Let's see, come on. Yeah, last time you can do this, Tuba. There we go. And let's see, what was that in here? No, never mind, the fireball. I was entirely wrong, but hey, I am sure Tubamann is going to take that one. Yeah, at this point, you know, the only real items Tubamann still needs are Boost Ball and Phazon Suit. Boost Ball because of the 3 artifacts in Life Grove, and Phazon Suit because it's Prime Phazon Suit. Yeah, this seed is really looking like to be quite like it's going to end up quite a jet seed for Arrow, although for Tubamann so far. Although there is, of course, the good old mystery of Arbor Chamber right here, and it looks like AeroRaiser is going for that out of bounds. If this has something important, I will laugh so much. The new tank is unfortunately not important. The seed is not as outrageously cruel as the last week ones. For shame. Looks like Tubamann is going to be heading into labs. Unfortunately, with the super missiles, he will be able to grab the research lab Hydra item right early on and will not have to leave that as a hole in his routing to pick up later. And for all that effort, Hydra just has a missile today. Unfortunate. Yeah, I believe at this point this is where Tubamann is heading out of logic, as Observatory does require you to have Boost Ball in order to ascend the vanilla way, but since we cared about logic in this tournament. However, considering Boost Ball is something that Tubamann is going to be needing for 3 artifacts later, that he probably won't be. Never mind. We could find Boost Ball back here, considering our runners do have Spider Ball necessary to head in through Reverse Magmore. So, yeah, never mind. Boost Ball could be back here. Forget I said anything. AeroRaiser not having a Power Bomb expansion to conveniently grab that Wave Beam like Tubamann did, although I imagine they will probably grab one quite soon from Warrior Shrine. And let's see, what is in our favorite control tower skip? Here's what this looks like with major cutscene skips. Teleporting tower. Man, gravity must be really intense on Talon 4 for it to fall that fast. And yeah, AeroRaiser now getting to deal with the fun topic of Prime 1 Power Bomb RNG. Fortunately, he did not get the extremely convenient Power Bomb drop that Tuba did. And wow, apparently Monitor Station's being Powerbomb City today. Hi, Edward. Bye, Edward. Same items as Vanilla and Research Lab Aether, but opposite order. I think the vanilla generator got screwed up a bit. And let's see, what is in Research Core? I did not even see. I saw, like, significant amount of text, so I'm guessing missile expansion. And yeah, Tubamann now heading into Late Phendrana, which... I don't know, we are pretty much on a phase-on suit and fastball hunt. We want to go fast, and we don't want to get radiation sickness. That is just a missile at the bottom of Frost Cave, nothing too exciting right there. Of course, we do have little Fred and Frost Caves coming here to say hello. Tubamann is here to remind him why Metroid should not be out in the cold in Phendrana. And that is a energy tank and storage cave. Lots of energy tanks in locations that we think would be important, but nope, just E-tanks. Although I suppose that is coming from the fact that they have extra E-tanks in the sea today as a result of replacing nothings. Missile expansion security cave. Expect to be hearing this a lot from me right now, just for a while. Just missile slash E-tank in an important location that's not wave beam or boost ball, or that's not boost ball or phase on suit. Because I'm gonna be hearing that. You're gonna be hearing that a lot. Let's see, will Gravity Suit break the trend? Alright, that's a missile in the grapple edge. Let's see. In the chamber. More missiles. Of course. Welcome to Prime, it's Missile City. Crazy to think that we still haven't found any artifacts at all between either of the runners yet. Blythegrove is really just hoarding all of them behind its janky collision and, I don't know, X-rays. Oh, chat pointing out that I need to mark Plasma Beam for Tubamann, as that has gone a little unchecked throughout this entire time. Thank you for pointing that out. Been a bit distracted by the fact that I'm running solo commentary, solo comms and tracker, which is a bit, so thanks for calling me out in that chat. Good job. And yeah, it looks like Late Phendrana was mostly a bust. Wait, yep, never mind, still a bust. Let's see, will Tuba be taking the rocks bait? Oh, survey says maybe. Could just be going for a quarantine monitor dash, or it could mean we could have some rocks in the house. Very nice dash across quarantine to get to quarantine monitor, and rewarded with an E-tank for his efforts. Let's see, will we see a nice good old rock and roll today? Unfortunate. And it looks like Tuba is trying to sneak out of Quarantine Cave with these spider tracks. Very nice. That is a trigger that can be obnoxiously big, although I do know it is a bit more generous on the other side. AeroRaiser heading over to grab his plasma beam, which is in a rather convenient spot for plasma beam to be in, considering all the early plasma checks in Phendrana. AeroRaiser going back to check his artifacts and finding out that he has collected none of them. Let's see, what's here? Oh, just a missile workstation. Not going for Platinum Processing, as Tuba does not have Boost Ball. Interestingly enough, this upcoming situation where Tuba is heading into mines will bring into an interesting some interesting facets of logic as a result of pointing. And oh, Tuba doesn't have any power bombs, so he's trying to do the snipe to grab the beetle from the other side. Arrow grabbing his spider ball here. Yeah, so I was about to say, Tuba does not have his boost ball, but given Randovania's logic on point of no return items, boost ball could actually still be pretty much anywhere in mind, with the assumption that our runners would have to either save out or warp to start out. Yeah, it doesn't look like Tuba's attempt to get through and deal with Prime 1 Power Bomb RNG has been very fruitful so far. Just checking to make sure he doesn't already have a Power Bomb and this is actually necessary. We still haven't seen any visors yet, which will make Essence a royal pain if that trend continues. And it looks like, nope, never mind, Tuba is still going for that beetle. Oh, looks like he's got the angle, just gotta nail the timing now. Just missed that beetle. Oh, I think I heard it. Hey! Nicely done. And so yeah, with that, Tubamann will be able to head into Magmore Caverns from the reverse side and probably grab a few items right there. Fortunately, he does have Fireball, so he will be able to ascend further up the mines. However, real question is, will Tubamann be descending into the mines as well? Because lower mines is in logic right now. Although he does not have the X-ray visor that would be needed to head out through OP. But warp to start is always an option. And let's see. Looks like Tuba is basically just. Looks like Tuba is trying to save again. Probably saving so they can reset out if Lower Mines does not have Boost Ball. That does indeed make sense. Chat is liking to point out Frigate might be in logic. I'm not sure I disagree, as we haven't really seen anything of thermal, so which makes me a bit hesitant to go for Frigate right away. AeroRaiser pointing out something that was learned earlier today quite publicly is that power bombs can break that vat in Research Lab Aether and destroy the battery quite, and apparently that is in logic, which is funny. Never knew that. And apparently it just gets rid of the Metroid right away, which could end up being handy in some situations, so I could see that being a faster option some people take advantage of at some points. Tubamann taking the damage boost to go check PCA, and it looks like PCA just has a missile, so if Phazon Suit's gonna be a big troll, it's gonna be vanilla or bust. And here comes the fun part of not having any visors. Lots of power beam shots. You know, a lot of people think power beam is the worst beam. Power beam is great in Prime 1. And here we have a nice loud elite pirate taking off his morning nap and coming up to find a Samus on his lawn. He's all like, get off my lawn, and Samus just, I go on whatever lawns I like. Now that the lawn has been thoroughly stopped, we are moving to elite control access, which has yet more missiles. More exciting elevator footage from Tubamann's side. And heading up the, whatchamacallit, the shaft, whatever it is. And let's see. Man does not have grapple, so we will not be able to make a quick trick up. Will Tubamann be going for a fancy standable terrain, or will he extend the power bomb to go for the easy trap? Oh, looks like he's actually heading back to grab power bombs right here. Prime 1 power bomb RNG, everyone. Deciding to take the opportunity to head down into the deep dark depths of mines. Probably looking for a boost ball. Personally, I would not be surprised if AeroRaiser did end up fighting Thordis, as I do believe after that phonograph and his routing, I do believe AeroRaiser is in the I'm behind mindset, which does tend people to take some bigger risks and check out some of the bosses that are normally considered suboptimal, so it would not be the biggest surprise in the world if AeroRaiser did decide to pay the good old rock and roll visit. It is just a missile in Central Dynamo, but looks like Tubamann is still picking up, even though they will have to reset out if they do not find. Yeah, there is P's, as they are somewhat betting on the opportunity that they will find Boost Ball later on in Mines, and so are taking out there in anticipation of finding Boost Ball. There aren't that many places left where Boost Ball could be. And looks like Tuba is just warping out. Not even going to check MQA, which is an interesting play. And the real question is, where will Tuba go next? Because while he went into Mines, he really didn't touch a lot of it. A lot of the checks are still out there waiting to be uncovered, which could give Aero lead, as he is much closer to Mines than Tuba is. Well, looks like Tuba is doubling back to clean up Chozo. Who knows? Maybe the runners do. I don't. Reed might know. Reed did generate the seed. Reed's probably laughing at us. Good job, Reed. You made a good seed. And yeah, it looks like AeroRaiser has decided that the rock and roll will be the best decision today. Ooh, it is interesting to see this with major cutscenes removed. We get to see Thordis assemble itself in real time. More raiding around during the fight! Fun! Yeah, Tubamann just cleaning up. Chozo Tower Chamber has more missiles. Very exciting. I'm not quite sure where Tuba is going right here with the... Oh, never mind. He does have these supers and the biter need to make reverse flagger possible, so that probably is what Tuba is going for next. And to get the fast flagger fight and the easy ghost in there. Although I'm not quite sure that with major cutscenes removed, reverse flagger is as much fast. That B tried to Mr. President the block, but looks like it wasn't having too much luck as the block got exploded anyway, thanks to the blast radius. Unfortunately, I know those bees can be definitely very protective of those super missile faces, and they can block your super missiles in quite obnoxious times. So, good thing Tuba did not have to spend extra missiles here. Gotta say, that was a very fast reverse flagger. So maybe I underestimated just how good reverse flagger with major cutscene removal is. That was lightning fast, barely even more than a normal check. And I appear to. Wow, that's an interesting strategy for killing time during Thardus. Oh wait, never mind. Thardus is already dead, and I didn't notice. Zeke is just going for the, quarantine monitor dash. And yeah, taking the opportunity to use the, Spark Track get really smooth chest. And unfortunately, it looks like Thardus only really had a missile, so Zeke's effort will not be, bearing fruit so much. Yeah, Tuba dealing with the best enemy in the game, Chozo Ghosts. Especially without any X-ray visor. Why do X-rays reveal Chozo Ghosts? Because they're still not physical objects? I don't get it. Then again, it's not like Prime really makes a lot of Prime is realistic in quotation marks. These double jump boots are the single most realistic item we've ever seen in video games. Aero doing a very nice dash to get in Quarantine Monitor on the second try, and that is just a powerbomb expansion on the Ghosts. Man being reminded of the fact that missile blast or shields only appear in one direction. Don't worry, I forget that all the time. And yeah, this door also only has modeling in one direction. Darn retro, and not assuming that we would modify the game to go to places where you shouldn't be ahead of time. Yeah, it looks like Tubamann will actually be able to go back and grab a lot of the early items. Looks like Ruined Fountain is going to be their next item of choice. Fortunately, we are getting stuck with a lot of Chozo Ghost music right now, and I do not know when the next music tree is going to be, so I'm just going to switch on over to AeroRaiser right now. Very nice dash to get across the lava lake. Can be a tricky dash to get done. And it looks like Tubamann is more valid than they were before. Congratulations. Missile expansion, training chamber access, and training chamber itself. Powerbomb expansion. Hey, it's not a missile though. At this point, I am very curious where main power bombs are, because we know they were required for wave beam, yet we still haven't seen them all this time later. Maybe they were in Hall of the Elders? That was the only thing that would really make sense to me right now. So our runners have checked almost everything else. And AeroRaiser having the same fun with the Beetle that Tubamann had all that way back. Looks like he got done much quicker though. Let's see, will Dynamo be the troll it always loves to be? Find out next time on Metroid Prime Randomizer after this break! Just kidding, we wouldn't implement that on you guys. We like you too much, and also we don't want to actually make races asynchronous, that would be weird. Let's see, what is on the Dynamo? More missiles. Perfect. Still don't have any artifacts, which is kind of crazy at 1 hour and 12 minutes in. AeroRaiser heading into the Phazon pit to try and figure out what's in PCA, and as we found out before, it is more missiles. Tubamann finds something here. I'm betting that he's going to be kicking himself for just dipping out of Chozo earlier after he found the gravity suit. E-tank at the top of Furnace. Let's see, what will we find in Crossway? Oh, that's an artifact. Well, that would make sense. If so, I really do question why no one grabbed this earlier then. But, hey, I'm not the one racing. Fortunately, it looks like Tuba is running into some little standable collision terrain, as crossway item earlier can be a bit finicky to do. One tip I find to be very important is make sure that basically the peak of your jump matches up with the corner as you with the tunnel, as you want to be basically moving as little as possible to give yourself the maximum time that able to get into the tunnel. It's a finicky trick. Unfortunately, it seems to be one that's giving Tubamann trouble right now. And it looks like Aero is going to be heading back out of the mines in order to grab some powerbomb expansions and potentially a save on the side. no, it doesn't look like that missile is going to get Tubamann any closer in either. And there we go, Tubamann grabbing the artifact. Our first artifact, 1 hour and 16 minutes into the run. Thanks, Life Grove. Tubamann being bullied by ghosts right here. As it looks like he's trying to do a slope jump to get up to the top of the, where the beam doors are, so do a cutscene merge. Well, I'm not sure a cutscene merge is too important when major cutscenes are all removed. Well, for a super missile to clean this off, and oh, never mind. Cutscenes are removed. We don't need to worry about the timing. AeroRaiser saying good morning to the sleepy elite pirate. Still upset about Samus's on its lawn. And yeah, deactivating the energy shield and then going back for more beam bomb slot action. I always found these beam bomb slots weird, as they're the only ones in the trilogy. In fact, they're one of the few places that directly requires beams that isn't a door. Which is weird. It's the only time we ever see like the whole energy shield things used outside of doors. I don't know. I always found these beam bomb slots unique when I was a kid. And I suppose they are unique since I don't think they're anywhere else in the trilogy. Let's see. Oh, and that is Thermal Visor in the bottom of Hull of the Elders, which means that that's a frigate in logic. Although I suppose technically frigate has been in logic for a long time now that they've acquired Wave and Ice and could head in backwards, but still. That bodes ill for the future. Arrow just going for some vanilla ore processing. Not every day you see the vanilla version. Oh, never mind. Looks like Arrow's actually going for some slope jumps to get up. That is one way to do it. The lack of main power bombs has very much been mean to the runners over the course of the seed, as they've been constantly having to fight the power bomb RNG. And, ooh, AeroRaiser going for this slope. Ooh, that is a mean slope jump to try and go for. Personally, if I was in this situation, I would just go, yeah, I would pretty much just do this and then head back through the top, because it's very possible to just jump over the top of ore processing. Oh wait, never mind, they don't have boost ball. They can't head through Elite Research, because you need to boost ball to do the infinite boost to get through the wall, so AeroRaiser is basically stuck trying to do these awful slope jumps. Personally, at this one, I'd just cut my losses and head back to Processing Center to just pick up a power bomb, but dang, this is not a good... Power bomb RNG is being very cruel to the runners today. And Tubamann approaching, getting somewhat close to the first item of Frigate. Let's see, what did Frigate have in store for us the entire time? Let's see, will it be anything special? Survey says Spider Beam. Not anything particularly important, but I imagine AeroRaiser would really love to have that right now. And yeah, it looks like AeroRaiser is just heading back to bite his losses and go back to PCA to grab a power bomb, or PCC. Acronyms. Let's see. Good old biohazard containment. What do you have for us today? Ice spreader. Not bad. Not bad. Ice spreader, it can be very nice against Prime, as it does have a weakness to ice damage. It takes 1.5 times damage from it. So would that make Metroid Prime a dragon type? It can be damaged by its own type. So yeah, that would check out. That would make Metroid Prime being an ice type, and then Essence have an ability that's immune to it. This is silly, whatever. Metroid Prime does not go by Pokemon rules. Tuba really only went into Central Dynamo, and then I believe he warped to start out in Lower Mines. AeroRaiser looks like they're going for the standable terrain. And that is our Phazon suit. However, there's still a very fast ball that is still missing in play that we still need to find. So we are not done with this yet. But Phazon suit and Hydro Access Tunnel, that is mean, especially for Aero, who still does not have Gravity Suit all this time later. There is, of course, the wall boost method of getting it, but I am not sure if Aero knows how to do the wall boost to get Hydro Access Tunnel without Gravity Suit, because it can be very tricky. Aero trying to grab more power bombs to try and prevent from having to head back to PCC to farm them, but no. I am going to be extremely curious whenever one of these runners gets to the credits where main power bombs were, because we know it had to be somewhere that couldn't be locked behind boost, or that couldn't be locked behind wave, yet I feel like our runners have cleared out everything other place where it reasonably could be. Maybe power bombs are there's nothing locked. Wait, never mind. Wave beam is locked behind power bombs, and that is required. So it can't be just something not required in this seed. I don't know. It's a mystery. Well, probably won't be a mystery for long. That is X-Ray in Storage Depot. It looks like after all this, our runners are finally meeting back up and holding hands for a bit right now. So, after all this routing divergence, our runners got to Security Depot at pretty much the same time, although it looks like man is having some rough trouble with the Shadow Pirates right now. They are bullying him quite bad. Please stop bullying Tubamann Shadow Pirates. It's not nice. But yeah, it's looking like the signs are pointing to boost in lower mines somewhere. Either that or on Elite Pirate, or the phase on Elite, but I don't know, there just aren't too many other options for lower mines at this point, or for boost ball at this point. And yeah, I think lower mines is pretty much the only place it could be. Shadow Pirates once again bullying Tubamann into not letting him go through the door. They really are very rude as enemies. God, why won't the pirates just let me walk into their base and take all their items? So rude. Let's see, what will the phase on Elite have today? We know there is an artifact in Elite Research up here, so that is a thing. Also worth considering, another item we haven't seen is Chozo Ice Temple, as I believe that is just locked behind Plasma Beam, which was in Phendrana Canyon, so Chozo Ice Temple is an option for where main power bombs could have been. Looks like AeroRaiser is heading up to try to do the manual spinner activation, while Tubamann is just heading out, not wanting to bother with it. And yeah, this trick can be long and slow. It basically involves waiting for the spinner to suck you in and then inputting the opposite direction to get a little bit of spin in the spinner. And it takes a while, but it works. That was a very nice one on AeroRaiser's end right there, which should get him enough to get the wall open. Whether or not this saves or loses time in the long run is going to be a question, as we will need boost ball for the triple artifact Life Grove later, and Life Grove is not very far off, so it wouldn't be too far-fetched to come back in and grab Elite Research while he's there, but I don't know, on the other hand, grabbing items now rather than later is not a terrible idea. Yeah, this one, given the timing, I have to say, at least in the immediate sense, Tubamann probably made the better call. say a third of the way through. Yeah, I'd say a bit over a third at this point, but this is a long trick. And assuming Boost Ball is in lower mines, they would have to basically, the runners would basically have to pass back through Elite Research, or at least get very close in order to get back out. So, I don't know. There's routing decision implications all over the place in Prime. Arrow's almost 3/4 of the way there, I'd say. No, he's definitely getting closer, however, it's definitely cost him a lot of time from when Tubamann was there, and they were pretty close together. And oh, as Tubamann has previously gone through Omega Research before, guess who's awake now? It's an Elite Pirate. Arrow should be getting close now. Yeah, that should do it. Yep. That is AeroRaiser's first artifact at an hour and a half in. Yeah, the initial items were nice, but the artifacts and Boost Ball have been not very. Arrow is still running on just one power bomb expansion, which is an oof. Can't imagine that'll be very fun to deal with once we get to lower mines and get rooms that have like 2 to 3 power bomb checks in a row. Thankfully this isn't, wait, never mind, I'm sure Arrow would be loved to be playing Echoes right now with its ridiculous power bomb, just like rubber banding. I swear, you spend 90% of Echoes at one power bomb drop and nothing else. Yeah, ore processing very much not being nice to AeroRaiser today. And we finally have our go mode. That is the Boost Ball acquired at 134.06. Let's see, what are we missing outside of the triple artifact? Oh, plasma processing, that's what we are missing. But yeah, at this point, I don't think heading back through Elite Research is really going to cost Tubamann that much time, so I'd very solidly put Tubamann in lead at this point, so I will give them the audio. I bet Tubamann is absolutely kicking themselves right now for warping to start when they headed into lower mines for the first time, when Boost Ball was 2 checks away in Fungal Hull access, and they had all the items they needed to grab it at that point. Feels bad, man. And yeah, now we get to see rare footage of runners heading back up Omega Research while there are pirates in the room. is whenever you see runners reversing up, it's almost always with the elite pirate fight. So, but nope, gets zero footage of being harassed by beam pirates. And AeroRaiser taking the opportunity to warp back to start, which fortunately is pretty much the opposite of where he wants to be going right now. And at that point, while Tubamann still has 5 artifacts to grab, I can't really say it really is Tubamann's race to lose at this point. Remember, runners did finally grab some visor, so we didn't have to worry about visorless essence so much, because that's always fun. Yeah, looks like Tubamann will be disposing of some turrets and then, oh, never mind, and then taking the opportunity to go so fast that they walk through the wall, because they're just suggestions, really. AeroRaiser finally finding their second power bomb expansion and taking that one quite happily. Tubamann finally grabbing their second artifact. Looks like Tuba is going to be heading out through PCC to go grab the plasma processing artifact there. Looks like he was looking around for a bit. Oh, and it looks like we'll also be seeing... That is some interesting Metroid placement. We got a boomerang Metroid over here. Apparently that Metroid wants to experience the ore processing puzzle as well. Cheapskate, get your own puzzles. That puzzle... Wow, Metroids are all... They are very popular today. More teleporting Metroids, very determined to fit into the ore processing slots. That is quite the grapple beam. Someone clip that. Yeah, never mind. It looks like Tuba has basically decided to head around and head back into Life Grove. I still am curious where main power bombs was. I think Chozo Wise Temple is really the only place they could be, but I don't know. I mean, it certainly caused problems for the runners, so I don't think any of them are too happy wherever it ends up being. And yeah, Tuba's artifact just placement is just gonna end up being awkward, kind of no matter what, with how their artifact, their Gomo Diamond plays out, because they're basically in the middle of two of them, so they have to, no matter what, there's going to be some backtracking involved. At minimum, most of the artifacts were just condensed into a few locations, so there isn't too much to keep track of in Tuba's head. Aero being taunted by a power bomb dropped right in front of him. Our first artifact of many in Life Grove. And of course, what would an all-artifact Life Grove be without a Life Grove tunnel? Just shenanigans, because this is the best room in the game. Or the worst room. You all can decide. Hero finally finding their flamethrower. Or, not flamethrower, thermal visor. I have no idea why. I mean, like, I suppose they're both tangentially related to heat, but still, that was quite a mispronunciation. Three artifacts right in a row there for Tuba. And it looks like Tuba is also not the only person who's going to be having trouble with Crossway today, as Aero gets to join that party. Looks like Aero finally managed to get in there. Give him a bit less trouble than it gave Tuba. Yeah, at this point, however Tuba decides... Oh no, has Tuba forgotten they need to check plasma processing? Because it looks like they're heading back... I suppose warping to start isn't the worst routing decision at this point, but let's hope they didn't forget they still need one more artifact. Yep, looks like they haven't forgotten, just decided to route around through Midtown, which, that is one way to route to plasma processing, I suppose. Yeah, at this point, it's mostly just going to end up being cleanup for Tuba and disappointing searching in the wrong places for Aero. And that is our final artifact at 1 hour and 46 minutes in. Quite a seed. And yeah, Tubamann looks like just going to be heading over to the save station and warping back to this. Aero doing some very nice standable terrain to, well, was about to avoid taking a bath in the lava, but the lava bath waits for no one at this point. At this point, looks to be some mostly smooth sailing for Tubamann at this point on, as it's really only final bosses, and well, those don't change too often. Oh boy. Tubamann, he's riding on the ground for us. Looks like a Y so far. Doesn't seem like Tuba was very happy with this seed. Very smooth Ridley so far. Always interesting to see how the bosses react with major cutscene skip. Looking forward to seeing how Exo works, because I've never really done major cutscene skips before. Looks like Tubamann's doing probably one of the alternative methods of climbing up Impact Crater. This one's pretty much, it's a lot easier, however it does pretty much guarantee that Jack and Jill will come up to harass you. So, if you're comfortable with dodging the Metroids, it can be a good, decent alternative. Huh, wow. Apparently the rooms have smooth transitions between them. Interesting. Anyway, going into Exo Phase 1, starting off with beam, with whatchamacallit, wave beam phase. Interestingly, one beam despite all the searching we did, we don't believe any of the rounds ever found the wave buster, which will cause issues. Of course, Exo just going up and eating that super missile, just saying nom. However, Ben, I do believe, has the missiles to share and will be quite happy to shove them down Exo's gullet today. Wow, Exo, that was a mighty convenient fall you did there. You were tumbling down and then all of a sudden you're very prepared right at the end. Almost like this wasn't supposed to happen that way. Oh yeah, it is interesting seeing the game cutscenes that you've seen so many times before play out as just actual gameplay. It is something that it's interesting to see play out in a race, even if it does have some major gameplay implications at certain points. Yeah, sorry for not much to say, but it is pretty much just a standard Exo at this point, minus commentary. Yeah. It is very interesting to note that the holes in which Exo falls down are basically sometimes the rooms always have a specific layout where the holes are on it, but Exo is not guaranteed to be on one of those sides, so it's very possible that Exo will basically have Exo fall down in the cutscene, but then you will have to stay where you are to get to the next room. Very interesting. Exo's in the chaos phase and being very rude to Tuba. Unfortunately, if nothing else, Tuba's long hunt for boost ball has given him plenty of super missiles to feed to the Exo. Tuba not quite realizing that Exo needs to be on the opposite. And we get rare footage of Morph Ball being frozen right now. But yeah, Exo died over there, but nope, he's gonna yeet himself through the wall over here. It's just how it works sometimes. That's the dedicated yeeting wall. And yeah, from here it should be pretty simple stuff, most likely. Just essence that we kind of see every day. We hope it doesn't get pool skipped, but I think it's pretty safe to say it likely won't make a difference even if we do get pool skipped repeatedly. Although Tuba essence is scarily close to the exoskeleton right now, so would not be surprised if we see a pool skip right here. Oh, never mind, Tuba made sure to let Exo move away. Good call. Nobody likes getting pool skipped. Of course, Essence doing its favorite thing and hanging out right next to the pool, so it's very difficult to actually get the shots on. And it looks like that is... Oh! Yep, that is GG for Tubamann at 1:58:30. And yeah, AeroRaiser has forfeited. Hello there, AeroRaiser.
That was one of the cases where taking a huge big brain risk did not pay off. I was hoping my stuff would be in mines, and other than the very now clearly late boost boss, I was rushing at this point. Yeah, I found nothing else there. I'm like, well, this sucks. I'm like, well, I lose this one because that's 100. I'm 100% in the seed now. All I have left is back of mine.
Let's see, where was Powerbomb? Chozo Ice Temple. Called it!
Wait, main PBs and Chozo. That was half of my issues, not having a power bomb. Also, I need oh, or processing messed me up today.
Yeah. Yeah, that or you two were actually pretty close up until ore processing, or the second ore processing trip.
Yeah, I mean the second trip thankfully didn't take as long. It's just Samus did not want to slope jump.
Yeah, which was even better because power bombs.
Yeah, me having power bombs made the first trip a little better. But then I remembered after I get the power bomb thing, I'm like, wait a minute, I could just move the red one and slope jump the red one. Oh well, that's fine. GG's.
Hello there, Tuba.
Hello, GG's.
So what I did was go to mines early, and I didn't go past vent shaft, and I got punished for it. I should have here's the thing though, if I had committed to lower mines when I was there the first time, I would have fought OP. I had X-ray, I didn't have phase on, and oh gosh, that was a horrible spot to begin with. I'm glad I had gravity. I laughed when I saw phase on, so I'm like, of course it's here.
Yeah, phase on. This entire seed was just garbage from start to end.
Oh yeah, at the very beginning when I went and checked artifacts, I took the Magmore elevator, peaked Fiery Shores, and I was like, you know what? The chances that it's Storage Cavern is very low. I'm gonna leave. Oh.
Yep.
Storage Cavern was the play. I was like, all right, let me get my vanilla bombs, and as soon as it drops space jump, I'm like, it's freaking Magmore.
Yeah, the seed did not like you, Arrow.
Yeah, no, I can't. I got punished almost with every route choice I made. I got punished by it. I think the only one that rewarded me was no, I was even punished by Laz because there was nothing there.
Yeah.
Early gravity chamber play, nothing there. I slope jumped through into gravity chamber. Nothing there. I'm like, come on, Seed.
Yeah.
Well, you did do a good, decent enough job of catching back up. That you were fairly close for a little bit when you were hitting security access and security station, but then just orb processing and just turning the research winch manually.
I'm glad I got a lot faster at that. I timed it. It only took me 2.5 minutes to turn it all the way.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm getting faster at doing it because I kind of get the trick to it. Doesn't make it any better. That's the second time this tournament I've done that trick for an artifact, by the way.
Yeah, it's surprisingly handy.
Yeah, and it's annoying.
Can we talk about the fact that all 6 artifacts were logically locked by boost?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, all 6 of them were boost locked.
And don't forget, triple artifact life growth.
I was actually happy to see that, and then boost never showed itself.
Yeah, seriously. Like, so whenever I did end up going to lower mines, whenever I dipped mines my first time, but
that was huge.
Well, actually, it wasn't because I got to Central Dynamo and then save worked out because I didn't have X-ray.
I had X-ray, so I think if I was there, I probably would have committed to OP. But at the same time, I peaked PCA, so there's always the chance when I got if I finding boost at Bungle Hall access, I might have actually save warped out of MQB.
Yeah.
And then if everything had come up blank, I could just warp. I could just reset back to MQB and be like, all right, OP, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
No, this seed was rude.
This seed was rude at every step of the... there was nothing nice about this seed.
Despite this, it's still not the worst seed of the day.
Yeah, somehow.
3.1 has exceeded our expectations on current seed.
Yeah.
And hey, it was probably better than your one last week, Arrow.
Yeah. Debatable. Like, there was... my seed last week just had one really bad thing.
Yeah.
This one... It was bad at every corner.
I think the part that really got me was whenever I last locationed Thermal Visor. Whenever I saw that thing, I nearly threw my controller because I knew exactly what it wanted.
I was at the point where as soon as I got Thermal Visor, I'm like, all right, frigates to play. I'm still clearing Chozo because I'm not coming back here again.
Mm-hmm.
Because Also, I hate that it took me multiple tries to do crossplay today, and I was sad at that.
Same! Oh my god!
Crossplay was punishing
5 tries.
That's about how many times I took. 3 to 5.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is not hard.
Quarantine Monitor Dash actually gave me a little bit of trouble today, because Samus did not want to dash. I'm like, and then when I got to Magma Pool, I'm like, okay, it's fine if I fail this dash, I have gravity.
Yeah, right. I got the Quarantine Monitor Dash first try, but I failed it on the way back. But it was fine because I had Spider, so I could just get out.
Yeah, I failed it on the way back too. I fought Thardus first after failing it the first time.
Mm-hmm. That's one place where I did save time. If I can skip the big angry rock, I try to. I also tried to skip Flagra, but ended up going back to it whenever I did my cleanup of Chozo. But I had Spider and Supers by then, so I was able to do it backwards and then routing Ghosts after. So that was nice.
What was on Ghost? Because I accidentally skipped it.
I think it was an energy tank.
Oh, okay. Well, we had like 3 or 4 extras of those, so I mean...
Exactly.
We had 3 or 4 extra of those. I think I found all of the flamethrowers.
I think I did too.
Also, but that grapple beam and ore processing, did you notice that?
I was just about to say the same thing. I could not believe it. Like, that's what I just, once it saved me, I just kind of stood there, turned around, and was like, what?
Yeah, so Arrow, since you obviously didn't see this, Tuba was in ore processing and was basically trying to use the groveling to get to the higher layers, but then like a Metroid knocked it down mid-swing, knocked him solo, but then the grapple beam like saved him and then pulled him all the way back up from the bottom floor. It was ridiculous. I posted a clip out about it in Prime General.
Yeah, I'm gonna want to see that clip. That's insane.
It was ridiculous.
I
Love
couldn't
it.
believe it. I was like, because okay, and here's another thing. The seed also would have been a lot nicer to me if I knew the ore processing climb. It's the one of 3 things that I still haven't learned.
I don't know the Sanable terrain climb, so what I do is I use the spider tracks on each floor to slope jump up.
I should learn all of these setups because that's like I've never been punished by not knowing it, so I've never really taken the time
I recommend
to learn
learning the
it. And
Sanable
today-
over the. I recommend learning the Sanable over the slope jumps because 1, the slope jumps are super finicky, and 2, you'll fall a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So today was the breaking point because I probably could have been done a lot sooner if I was able to do front of mines into backwards frigate.
Yep. I'm not even too mad at losing this one. This seed is more what I'm mad. What I'm mad at is the seed because this seed was rude.
Do you want me to send a notice to Arrow to Reed that he should start running?
Oh really? This was another one from Reed?
Yeah, I think Reed. Yeah, I think Reed generated this batch. I'll take that as a yes to let him know to start running.
Explains a lot.
he probably knows that he needs to start running if after I finished I wrote in race time who rolled this, no punctuation and nothing to follow. I was fuming with this seed. Oh my god, it was so bad.
The big difference in the seed, I think either of us would have finished under 130 if we had both avoided the initial mines dip.
I think you're right. Because I wasted a lot of time just sitting there like, what the hell am I supposed to do here without any items?
Oh, I just went through... Doing it with 1 power bomb sucked.
Yeah, I had 3 by that point, I think.
I only found 2. The second one I found was after I left mines, went to back at Chozo. I found it in Overgrown Cavern.
The third one that I found was on ghosts. That's right.
Oh, it was Ghost.
Yeah,
well, that would have done me no good at that point.
And I did find the 4th one. The 4th one was in Training Chamber access. Or not access, it was on Training Chamber itself.
Oh, right, I saw that one because I peeked it. I saw that one.
Couldn't get that till you had Boost Ball, though.
The fact of main PBs, though, that was mean.
I forgot to look at where it was in the credits. I'll have to look back and
Main PBs were in Chozo Ice Temple, I checked. Because I remember I was discussing that a
Oh.
lot with chat.
Yeah. Chozo
Of
Ice Temple, I was
course.
like, And like you already checked Chapel of the Elders, and you got Plasma and Canyon. It's like you're not going back just for that if you've already looked at Ice Ruins East.
Yeah, I didn't even think about the fact that I left it behind. I was too focused on the fact that I had Spider, which means I could go and I could get Spider, which means I had logical access into the front of labs. So I was going to check all that.
Yeah. Though honestly, I probably also should have just dipped away after at Observatory because everything past that was out of logic.
Is it?
No, I believe
No, it's not. No, it's not because we had supers, so we could go from the back.
Yep,
you could also
that's what
just
I
head
was
around
thinking.
through Magmore because you had Spider and Wave
Yeah.
and Dice at
Yep,
that
that'll
point.
do it. So yeah, no, it was in logic. Okay. Not like there was anything there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
the back half of Fendrana was just dead.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, the only relief I had that was like lower gravity chamber was nothing.
Mhm.
Because jumping out of there is some of the worst stuff you'll ever do.
It is. It's not fun. I was practicing that a little bit earlier.
In a lot of my practice seeds, I keep having Plasma and Phase on there, and I'm like, no, stop it. But yeah, I'm gonna hop off of here. GG's. That puts you at what?
GG's.
3-2?
3-2. Yep. We'll see.
You got a chance.
A very, very
Not if
minuscule
Reggie
chance,
has his
but a
way.
chance. Yeah.
Oh.
Reggie is currently 5-0, so
Ooh.
he's coming for one of us.
Yeah.
One of us
Well,
is gonna
that puts
feel
me
sad.
at 2-3. So unfortunately, I have no more top 8 hopes.
Mhm.
But that is fine. My blame on this one is, one, I need to get better at tricks, a couple tricks. Two, these seeds have been
Great.
Amazing.
great for the spectators.
Yep. On average, they're great for me. 'Cause-
Oh god.
But I still get to practice for cross game though, so that's gonna be
Yep.
fun.
I think you mean chaos and fun.
Yes.
I mean, it's gonna be chaos. Every practice I've done with cross game, poor Echoes player, they spend some time in BK.
BK waits for no one.
Usually, thanks to translators, but
All right, yeah, I think that's everything that I had to say. So I'm good to go as well. So GG's.
Yep.
This was a lot of fun.
GG's. Yeah, this was. I mean, the seed was rude, but the game was fun. So.
Yes, exactly.
All right, GG's. I'll catch y'all later.
Yep. See y'all next mission.
See ya.